So we're here with Tito Ortiz. Knowing you've taken a lot of fights with less than 100% physically, going into this fight with Stephan Bonnar, how do you feel physically? Are you 100%?
Yeah, I'm ready to fight, Actually, I was able to have 8 weeks for this camp instead of 4 compared to when I fought Shlemenko. I guess I'm trying to prepare for this fight, and I just got to work on my cardio. And I've been able to work and put in the road work, put in my rounds, and I feel great. It's just the mental side of it that really makes the most important thing about all fighters, and especially for me, to be focused, and for this fight to be motivated like no other. It just seems like Bonnar keeps adding fuel to the fire of everything that comes out of his mouth, and I can't wait to shut him up on November 15th.
How long have you known Stephan Bonnar, and how back far does his grudge go?
I've known Stephan Bonnar, gosh, I think since after he did The Ultimate Fighter, and I didn't really know him. I knew of him, I met him just in conversation of, hey, what's up, and no more than that. I didn't talk to him at all until right before I signed the Bellator deal, and he just started talking smack and saying that I needed money, and it looks like I'm signing a deal just to come back and make money, that my ex took all my money. I started saying some personal stuff about me, and come to realize this guy needs to be shut up, and I'm glad that Dana did let him go, and Bellator did sign him. Scott Coker did an amazing job of making this happen, and he's getting fed to the wolves, and he didn't understand what he's getting into and what he started, because this is a personal deal that I'm here to shut him up, and it's a personal fight for me like no other. This is probably more personal than any fight that I've ever had. I mean, it goes past anything between me and Ken Shamrock, Chuck Liddell, anything like that. This is really serious. When someone talks about a person's family, talks about their fan, and my whole legacy of throughout my career, I take it very personal, and like I said, I'm going to shut him up.
Speaking of Ken Shamrock, he's here today. Is there any like uncomfortable vibe between
There's
you?
no animosity towards me and Ken. Me and Ken are actually friends now. It went from acquaintance to be friends now. We talked on a few occasions. He's an awesome guy. He pushed me to the next level when we compete against each other, just to make me that much better of a fighter, to train harder. And there was a time where my first fight where, I had a little bit of fear. He's the world's most dangerous man, and I wasn't sure how good I really was. But my first fight showed how good I really was, and my confidence just built more and more and more. And knowing that, a young kid who started this game as an amateur, competing in the UFC for free, my first UFC 13, and becoming a world champion for a year and a half, that I compete against these guys who've been doing it for 10, 12 years. And then after I compete against them, it's just we built a relationship through the time. It's just a respect value, I think, and he respects me a lot.
There was the incident with the masked man, Justin McCauley. What was your impressions of all that?
When I seen the Bonnar bring out the gimp, it was just a way of trying to get under my skin. You're going to bring an old sparring partner out saying that he used to be my coach. Yeah, he was never my coach. He was a sparring partner. I hired him as a sparring partner. I thought he was a brother, as a good friend. When you treat someone the way I treated him, is expected to be like a brother. But it showed his true colors, how he was a turncoat, and loyalty, I guess they come a dime a dozen for him. And I got people negative like that out of my life for a reason, and it just shows what type of person he truly is, and I'm glad I got the gimp out of my life.
You've done some work with TNA Wrestling in the past. Is that something you want to do more of, or is that in the past?
Well, professional wrestling is what got me into wrestling when I started in high school. I walked in the wrestling room at the high school thinking, where's the ring at? There was no ring. Not really associating collegiate wrestling to professional wrestling. When I did pro wrestling with TNA, I liked it. I dug it. Got a chance to meet Hulk Hogan, hung out with him, talked to him for a couple hours, and seemed like he's a normal person just like me. We just go through many different things, many similarities that correlate with each other, and wrestling was really, really fun. I digged it. Dixie Carter was an amazing person to work with. Everybody on their staff are amazing people to work with. The wrestlers are great guys. There's a theatrical side of it that I love it, of course, but there's a competitive side of me that loves to fight. But if there's an opportunity for me to do it again, of course I'll do it again. It's fun, and fans got to understand that there's a difference. There's a pro fighter and there's a pro wrestler. We're two separate worlds, and I don't like to join them together too much. That's why I haven't really got in and wrestled. I came in as a referee, and I came in messing around with Rampage. It was all choreographed, of course, but my professional side right now is fighting is my true goal, and that's winning a world title here at Bellator.
After Bonnar, is there anybody else you'd like to fight in the Bellator cage? Like Quinn Rampage Jackson or any other fights you have your eyes set on?
Well, right now it's Bonnar. That's all I do is just eat, sleep, train Bonnar. That's all I want to do. I want to shut him up, and I want to do it in a decisive fashion. I'm out for blood. That's all I care about right now is to shut Stephan Bonnar up and try to hurt him as seriously as I possibly can. This ain't a sport fight to me. This is a fight that's going out that's personal that I'm going to try to hurt him.
Where are you training right now? Like, what's the camp like? Can you describe
my camp's doing amazing. I'm at Punishment Training Center, of course, and I go over to Rain with Mark Munoz, work with the guys there. They got a huge room in there. Brian Schwab, Cummings, of course, Mark Munoz, Michael Bisbing, a lot of great guys. I'm able to go in there a couple times a week, and then I do my other training at Punishment Training Center. A guy Andre's there we do a lot of our ground stuff with, a lot of wrestling, a lot of sparring. I just put my body through the grindstone and just kind of sharpen it up and getting ready for November 15th.
Realistically speaking, how many fights do you have left in your career, and what is it that keeps you motivating to continue accomplishing having like a Hall of Fame career? How many more fights do you got?
You know, I have 3 more fights with Bellator, and my goal is to become a world champion and retire as the world champion. That's my goal, and retire by hopefully at the age of 40 years old, and be done, and continue on in this mixed martial art world, working with Bellator on the promotion side of it. Since I've been doing it for so long, this will be upcoming to my 18th year of competing. So I think the promotion side I could do fairly well with.
There were some rumors online that Dana White let Bonnar have his contract to fight you. Did you hear any truth to that? Or
I believe there is truth to Dana White letting Bonnar go to fight me. Finally Dana did something to give back to me, and I gotta say thank you, Dana. I appreciate it because now I get to beat Stephan Bonnar's head in, and I can't wait.
What kind of relationship do you have with Dana now?
I have no relationship with Dana at all. The last time we spoke, it was, I don't want to say hateful, but it was just, better words, just quiet. That's it.
And Mayweather is talking about putting together a promotion to pay fighters bigger money. Even he says fighters deserve the bigger money. Do you think there's room for like a Mayweather promotion in MMA with like Bellator and UFC and the other ones that are around? Do you think there's enough fighters, for like big name fighters to put on like a pay-per-view, let's say, and do you think there's room for him in the sport?
Of course there's room. There's lots of room for competition here. It's just you got to build the fighters. The fighters want to go out and do the promotion to build themselves. Getting in the cage and competing and fighting is one side of it, but doing the promotion side is a totally different animal. And a lot of fighters got to learn how to do that the right way and not be irritated by the fans, by the promotion or by the news or anything like that, where they got willing to go outside the box of just the fight world. And I've understood that since day one. I think that's why my name is one of the biggest names in mixed martial arts, because I understood how to promote. It's the promotion side of it. And if Mayweather comes in and does do that, I mean, he has really deep pockets, and he possibly can do that. But to compete with UFC and Bellator, it'll be tough. Now Bellator just seems like it's having the snowball effect, where it's just getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. Scott Crooker's doing an amazing job so far with the promotion, and I'm very excited for the future of Bellator Fight Company.
Do you see like a bigger than what is going on now between Bellator and UFC? Do you see this getting like Bellator moving to pay-per-view? You guys are already promoting the same night now. Your match is going to be the same night as UFC 180. The competition seems to be heating up between the two promotions. Do you see this becoming like really intense of a rivalry, like even putting maybe pay-per-views on the same weekend? Or
I really don't think this is a competition rivalry of Bellator between UFC. I think Bellator just giving the fans what they want to see, and that's great fights for free and amazing fights for free on Spike TV. Scott Croker is going to build a foundation for the fans, as he's already starting here with the Fan Fest, giving back. You're bringing Royce Gracie, Ken Shamrock, Randy Couture, myself, King Mo, Michael Chandling. All these guys that have really started. You look at the forefathers. Ken Shamrock, Royce Gracie, Randy Couture, and myself, the guys who built this business of mixed martial arts what it is today. I think Scott Croker's doing the smart idea of really making sure he doesn't forget about the true icons of the sport. And the younger guys like Chandling, like Mo, and like these other guys who are up-and-comers, they're going to ride in on it, and they're going to be glorious also.
Let me ask you this question. Wanderlei Silva got his fight license banned for life. Chael Sonnen got in trouble for PEDs or whatever the supplements that he took that were illegal. What's your opinion on that whole situation?
You know, my whole situation on that's been negative since day one. Since Forrest Griffin was allowed to do it during our fight, my last fight, UFC 148. It's cheating. Which way you turn it is cheating. If your body's not able to compete and train at the level with all these athletes, then you should step away, retire, go to another sport, do something else. It's a mental testing. It's a physical test. It's a lot of things that your mind got to really push through those hard days of training. And when your body's not able to compete at that level, walk away. And I told myself the same thing. If I get to that level and I can't do it anymore, I'm going to walk away. But I have a very strong mind, a very strong heart, and I work really, really hard. And I just try to dedicate myself to this job of mixed martial arts.
And my last question is, you've accomplished so much in MMA and in your life so far. What kind of goals do you have set for you after your MMA career? Is there anything else, any big dreams you want to accomplish? Anything out there that?
Well, yeah, I win a world title. Being a two-time title holder in two different promotions. I think that's would be a great goal to accomplish, and that's a goal that's set in my mind. I'm going to accomplish that. Theatrically, I like to do some films, but the right things got to happen for the right times, the right reasons. Timing's everything. But right now, my whole career, everything is set strictly on fighting. I have 3 more fights ahead of me. I want to compete at these 3 fights and win a world title, and that's my goal.
Thank you for your interview.
No, without a doubt, man. Thank you. Of course, all you guys can check me out on Twitter at Tito Ortiz. Of course, November 15th, watch me beat down Stephan Bonnar free on Spike TV.